In this video, our heroes, joined now by Princess Leia, make a dash for the Millennium Falcon in order to escape from the clutches of the Death Star. Their progress, however, is impeded by a unit of Stormtroopers who begin to open fire on the renegades. Ben! Luke suddenly shouts out, catching sight of his mentor, and stepping forth from the shadows is also a dark and cold figure, Darth Vader. A battle begins between these old foes as Stormtroopers begin to gather round. "Come on, kid, we gotta run!" shouts out Han. Will the rebels make it to the ship for their escape, or will Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers prove too powerful? Find out as we play this exciting Episode 4 game of Star Wars Miniatures. Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming. Well, we are getting close to the conclusion of our Episode 4 series of Star Wars Miniatures. Our heroes are trying to make their way off of the Death Star in the Millennium Falcon. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi over here facing down Vader. This is going to be a very exciting game. There's a few special rules that I'd like to lay out before we get started, and then we'll go ahead and roll off for initiative. For the first rule, right when we get started, we will roll off a d6 to see how many of the Stormtroopers end up moving over to the battle here between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the second rule will be this: Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader will be fighting until the battle is over. So if Darth Vader defeats Obi-Wan Kenobi, it is only then that Darth Vader is able to make his way back over here and to try to intercept the rebels. And here is our lineup for the rebels. We have Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and our two droids at the bottom of the battlefield. Obi-Wan Kenobi will be over facing down Vader. This will be for a total of approximately 100 points. Gathered on the top of the battlefield, here we have 12 Stormtroopers, plus our Darth Vader will be 120 points, so a slight advantage to the Empire. So with that, let's go ahead and start off our game. Let's see how many Stormtroopers go join Darth Vader in the fight against Obi-Wan Kenobi. 3 of them. For the sake of simplicity, we will have the closest Stormtroopers run 12 inches. These 3 right there. And there, their final position, staring down Obi-Wan Kenobi, providing some backup for Vader, who probably doesn't need it. Time to roll off for initiative now. The Empire is going to be with the blue and the Rebels in the red. And it's going to be 16-6. The Empire begins. First activation, Darth Vader is going to charge into Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, we need a 3 or higher for Darth Vader to hit. And it'll be a 14, so 20 points of damage on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Second activation, let's slide this guy up right behind this cover. And he will go ahead and take a shot off onto, let's see, who does he see? Let's have him shoot off on Princess Leia. Okay, needing to show an 11 plus, and it's a 17. 10 points of damage go through, dropping Leia down to 30. Okay, back to the Rebels now. We need to prioritize our heroes. Let's get Leia running her up here and get her behind cover, behind this block. And from here, we have a clear shot onto this Stormtrooper in the middle. A 9 plus for the kill. Here we go. And it's a natural 1. No, Leia, no. Help me out, flyboy. All right, so Luke in response is going to run up behind this obstacle. And from this position, he's going to get a shot off onto the same Stormtrooper. And we have a clear, unobstructed line of sight. Luke is also going to need a 9 to connect and kill. And he gets a 5. Man, so these Rebels are not doing well. That is the end of the Rebel turn. Let's go activate 2 Stormtroopers. First things first, let's run a guy up and get some cover. From this position now, we are going to get a clean shot off onto Han Solo right here in the middle. As we all know, Stormtroopers are not great at hitting, so they need to hit on a 13 plus. That's an 11. That's a miss. Let's activate a second Stormtrooper and get him behind his buddy and also take a shot off on Han Solo. And it's a 3. That'll also be a miss. Back to the Rebels. Come on, Chewie, let's run. Well, hello there, Your Highness. Let me show you how this shooting is done. So Han Solo actually has a clean line of sight between these obstacles right over here onto this Stormtrooper. Let's go ahead and roll that off. Needing an A+ to connect and kill, and we got a 17. So that guy is taken out. I guess even a scoundrel can get lucky sometimes. Chewie, get up here. Chewie's going to run up and take a position right here on the side of this block. With that, these two are no longer obstructed. Chewie's going to take a shot off on the guy in the rear. All right, Chewie hitting on an A+. Here we go. 3. No. Well, that is it for Chewbacca. But now that we're talking about Chewbacca, I have a correction to make. I forgot to add his points to our total. So we actually are playing an even game, 120 points against 120 points. Let's run over to the Empire. Activating this Stormtrooper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put him right there. And that will give us a line of sight onto Chewbacca, who will not have cover there anymore. Hitting on a 13+, and that's going to be a 15. Yes, 10 points of damage goes through. Next Stormtrooper is going to do approximately the same thing. We're going to run up here and get a shot off on Chewbacca as well. 12, that is going to be a miss. Back to our rebels now. Let's go ahead and protect our droids. We'll send R2-D2 up here. And we'll get him right about there. And for our second activation now, let's run back over to this combat between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to remain in combat and attack. Obi-Wan Kenobi, double attack on 9+. Here we go. First one is going to be a 12. That's a hit. The second one is going to be a 19. Yes! Obi-Wan Kenobi does 40 points of damage. Vader drops from 140 down to 100. Let's go back to the Empire Stormtrooper activations. I think we're going to stay consistent with the film here and have these three guys just watching passively. They are not going to step in and try to shoot. They're going to let Darth Vader do his thing, which means let's run over here. We've got two guys in the corner. Let's go ahead and run those guys up. Last activation for the Rebels, C-3PO will also follow R2-D2 up over here. Let's go up here and do our last activation for the Empire as well. We're going to have this guy run up 12, and let's actually bring him... I'm going to have him come this direction here. We'll leave him right there. So with that, we come to the end of round 1. Our heroes are slowly moving up on the battlefield as the Stormtroopers are filling up here. It is going to be tough for them to move forward unless they can pick more of them off. Over on this side, we have a great battle going on between these old friends turned foes. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, who has really been doing some good damage on Darth Vader. This is an exciting game. Let's see what happens now. Let's go ahead and roll off our initiative for round 2. Once again, red to the Rebels, blue to the Empire. And it is going to be 13-7. The Empire is going to begin again. First activation, Darth Vader is going to attack Obi-Wan Kenobi with a triple attack. Okay, here we go. Hitting on a 3+ for 20 points of damage. First one goes through. Next attack is a 15. That goes through as well. And the third and final attack for Darth Vader is a 1. No, we're going to spend a force point and re-roll that one for Darth Vader, bring him down to 4 force points. And it'll be a 10. So 60 points of damage go through. And with that powerful attack, Obi-Wan Kenobi is getting dangerously low at 20 hit points. Next activation, let's have the Empire run this guy up 6 inches. He's going to come into base-to-base contact with Chewbacca and attack him. Hitting on a 13+. And it's a 12. No, that's a miss. Rebel activations. We're going to activate Luke, run him over here 6 inches. That will give him some cover there. And from this position, we can fire off onto this guy to the right. Luke is going to hit on a 9+, and it's a 17. That goes through. Next activation, Leia is feeling inspired. We're going to have her run around this block, get some cover behind this machinery, and from here, we're going to have her fire off onto the guy who is in the rear of those two. Also needing a 9 to connect, and it is a 12. Yes, good shot, Princess Leia. All right, back to the Stormtroopers. We're going to have to get out of cover in order to be able to attack Luke. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll place him right there, which means he has a clean shot on Luke Skywalker. 13 plus. Here we go. 20! Oh, no. Natural 20, so double damage. 20 points of damage on Luke, dropping him down to a dangerous 20. Next activation, let's run out us another Stormtrooper. And as you can see, he actually has a direct line on Princess Leia now, unobstructed. So we're going to roll off here. 11 plus to hit. That will be a 2. That's a miss. All right, back to the Rebels. We need to get to the ship. So we're actually going to take Chewbacca out of combat. We'll roll an attack of opportunity in a second here. Move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's jump him here. 6. And that will give him a shot off onto that guy right there. But let's go ahead and roll attack of opportunity first. So here we go. We have this Stormtrooper right here on a 13 plus. And that will be a 13. So 10 points of damage goes through on Chewbacca. Okay, Chewie hitting on an 8 plus. 8 plus. It's an 18. Yes. Second activation. Let's go to Han Solo here. Now, this is maybe strategically stupid, but I think it's in line with his character. We're just going to have him make a mad dash for the ship. So let's see if we can get him 12 inches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We'll leave him right there, heading for the ship. Obviously putting him in danger, but I think that is exactly what Han Solo would do. And exactly like what would happen, we're going to have the Stormtroopers step in and cut him off. $13 plus to hit. 17. The other Stormtrooper is going to collapse in on him as well. And that's a 3. That's going to be a miss. Back to the Rebels here. R2-D2 is going to make a sprint for. We're going to move him 12. And C-3PO, seeing this happening, is going to be flabbergasted. R2-D2, wait for me! And he's going to follow him as well. Back to the Empire. I think for the activations we have over here of Stormtroopers, Darth Vader is going to command them to chase after the Rebels and to leave him and Obi-Wan Kenobi alone. So let's actually run these guys around the backside. And now, of course, last activation for the Rebels. We're going to have Obi-Wan Kenobi attack Vader. Double attack. First one, 9 plus. Here we go. It's going to be a 14. That's going to go through. And now the second attack. And it's going to be a 20. A natural 20. Yes. Woo. So this is incredible. With that critical hit, that's a total of 40 points of damage for that single shot, plus 20, 60 points of damage total, dropping Darth Vader down to 40. So we have 40 hit points for Vader and 20 for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Man, it is getting close here. Final activation, we have this Stormtrooper up here in the corner. Now, seeing what happened there with that attack on Darth Vader, the Stormtrooper is actually going to stay put because it looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi might actually knock him down. All right, so with that, we come to the end of round 2, and our heroes are advancing nicely. They've taken out 4 Stormtroopers over here, but they've taken some points of damage themselves. Han Solo, being the brash guy he is trying to make a sprint for the Millennium Falcon, but the real show over here is between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is going to be a huge roll-off because the winner of this is probably going to knock the other one out of the game. So let's go ahead and roll off for initiative. All right, here we go. This is huge. We've had the Empire 2 times in a row. Can the Rebels step up? Red for Rebels. 15 to 10. The Rebels get it. Oh, my goodness. Woohoo! Now, that means we are immediately going to go back to the combat here with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi begins a double attack. Here we go. First attack for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We need a 9 plus. Here we go. It's a 7. No, we're going to spend a force point to re-roll that. A 5. No. So this is horrible for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We can only spend force points once per turn. So that is it for that attack. We get one more attack. It's possible to get a critical hit, and then he takes out Vader. But it's not very likely. Let's go ahead and roll this last die. It's a 5 again, so he misses. Both of his attacks come up short. Oh, man. Obi-Wan. Next activation, we're going to advance Chewbacca, bring him right up here. And from this position, he can go ahead and take an attack onto that Stormtrooper right there. Hitting on an 8+, and that's a 17. He connects. Back to the Empire now. First activation goes to Vader. 3 attacks on Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, Vader. 3+. Here we go. 3+. And it's a 9. 20 points of damage. And with that, Vader's lightsaber cuts through Obi-Wan Kenobi, leaving nothing but a cloak that falls to the cold ground. Ben! No! Ben, no! Run, Luke. Run. Part of Obi-Wan Kenobi's character now is that when he dies, he's able to pass on 8 force points to anybody who has force point abilities. So he's going to pass 8 force points to Luke Skywalker, bumping him up to 10. And Luke can use 2 force points in each turn. Second activation for the Empire. We're going to charge into Princess Leia from behind here. All right, an attack for an 11+, and it's an 8. That will be a miss. Rebel activation. Chewie, we got to get the Millennium Falcon started. We're going to have Han Solo attack and then run 6 inches. Han Solo gets cunning attack because the Stormtrooper hasn't activated this turn. So let's go ahead and roll this off. 2+, 6, no problem. And there's Han Solo's final position, not quite into the ship, so he can turn around if he needs to and take off a few more shots in the next round. Let's run back over here now to Luke, and I forgot that when Obi-Wan Kenobi died, he's able to take off an immediate shot, so he's going to shoot off onto that guy right there. Hitting on a 9+. Here we go. And it's a natural 20. So a totally hit. Destroys him. Inspired or moved by Obi-Wan Kenobi's sacrifice. He takes out that guy. Now let's go and activate Luke. Luke is going to go ahead and take a shot on this guy as well. 9+, a 15. He connects. And after his attack now, Luke is able to move his 6 inches, but he's going to use force points, and he can use 2 of them. He can use it twice because of the special ability, so he's going to get an extra 4 inches, able to move 10 inches in total. Empire activation. Let's have that rogue Stormtrooper over there by Vader run up 6 inches and shoot Chewbacca. Connecting on a 13+, and it's a 19. Wow, 10 points of damage on Chewbacca. That's going to bring Chewie down to 70 hit points. Second Empire activation, we're going to run this guy up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's going to have a shot off on Luke if he is able to shoot next round. Last 2 Rebel activations. Let's just move the droids up and get them right next to the ship so they are ready to go. Final Empire activation. Let's run this guy over here just like his buddy and get him right there. End of round 3, and this is an intense game. Vader has defeated Obi-Wan Kenobi, but our heroes are slowly making their way up to the ship here. Now we need to run. We got to get out of here. We need to roll for the rebels so that Princess Leia can run and join her friends and then get in the ship before Vader gets over there and really wreaks some havoc. So let's go ahead and roll off our initiative. We need the rebels to win this one. Okay, here we go. Red for Rebels. 4-11. And it's going to be the Empire again. All right, this is horrible, but I have to do it. I have to do it. We're going to charge this guy into Princess Leia. We're going to leave the other guy there and have both of them attack her. First attack, a connecting on an 11+. It's a 3. No, second attack, same thing. 13. Okay, 10 points of damage goes through. That's okay. Dropping Princess Leia down to 20. And now we go back to the rebels. We are going to activate Princess Leia and run her 12 inches. She has a force point. We can run her 14. But this means 2 attacks of opportunity first. It is possible that Leia can die here. So first attack, an 11 plus. No, it's a 10. No, she does. They don't hit her. Second attack is going to be a 9. Yes. So Princess Leia is able to avoid both attacks. And on top of that, now we are going to spend a force point and to get her out of there 14 inches. So there's Princess Leia's position. She is almost safe into the Millennium Falcon. We're going to do our next activation. It's going to be Luke. He's going to turn in place here, and we're going to have him shoot at this guy right here. He is the, he's not in cover, so we can fire at him, and then we're going to get him to move after that. So let's go ahead and take our shot off onto this guy first. 9 plus, here we go. 13 is a hit. And then we're going to go ahead and move Luke. He gets an additional 2 inches because of Princess Leia's commander effect, but he can also use his force points to run up into the Millennium Falcon. We will place him up there to show that he is safely in the ship. Last activation for the Empire. This guy's going to run up 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put him right here, and he's going to take a shot off onto Chewbacca. 13 plus to hit. And it's going to be an 18, so 10 more points of damage. All the remaining activations go to the rebels. So we're going to take Han Solo. We're going to get him up into the ship. Chewie is also going to be able to run. We'll put him into the Millennium Falcon as well. We have our 2 droids here as well who haven't activated yet. We will put both of them in the ship. And that means the only person left over outside of the ship at this point is going to be Princess Leia. She can still get attacked. So let's go ahead now and roll off for initiative for our final round. Here we go, and this will probably be our final round, and it's 14-9. The rebels begin. So with that, we will activate Princess Leia and run her up into the Millennium Falcon with the rest of the crew. And now with the tractor beam disabled and all of the crew onto the Millennium Falcon, the ship blasts off and makes its escape from the Death Star. Are you sure, Vader, that the tracking device has been properly installed on that ship? I'm taking a considerable risk in letting them go like this. We will find them. Well, there you have it, folks. The conclusion of yet another exciting game of Star Wars miniatures from our Episode 4 series. Our heroes were able to plow through the Stormtroopers to get in the Millennium Falcon and to escape from the Death Star. Unfortunately, however, Obi-Wan Kenobi had to sacrifice his life to make this possible, but that is the way of the Jedi. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below, and I will continue to make more videos in this series. We are getting really close to the end of the series, and there are some exciting videos coming up, so stick around for those in the coming weeks and months. And most importantly, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.